What's up, manga folks? It's me plus manga. So I have for you a belated 2023 manga collection tour. I usually do these in July. I'm late, so forgive me. But without further ado, let's hop into it. Since this is a manga-only collection tour, we're gonna skip this shelf right here. There's like a few volumes for two stacks for sale, a few volumes on my TBR, but besides that, we're going to ignore that shelf completely, along with the top. So only manga. And what we're gonna do, I have, let's see here, oh wow, my counting is bad. 8 shelves in total. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna start here and zip, 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 and that's how we're going to do this. Alright, so starting up here I have my Kaiju and Tokusatsu shelf. So Kaiju wise, all I have is this Godzilla. I did have a 3D printed Godzilla, but he took a fall. So from there, Tokusatsu, I have Power Rangers or Super Sentai, Kamen Rider, VR Troopers, Beetleborgs, anything in that sort of suited Japanese action shows. Of course, the best Power Ranger, Zeo Gold. Then manga wise, so let's start right here. First off, I have my my favorite ongoing shonen manga. It's Kaiju number 8. I have volumes 1 through 7. This is up to date. Love Kaiju number 8. It gives me like kid feels reading this. I love Kaiju number 8. It's one of my favorites. But yeah, Kaiju number 8, I can't recommend it enough. Best ongoing shonen battle manga. But from there we have Kamen Rider Kuga, which is a manga adaptation from the Ishinomori. I'm sure these are original manga, but yeah, it's 3 volumes long. Titan manga, I know. I love that this feels like tokusatsu, but it has more of a edge. It's darker. This is like a detective manga mixed with a tokusatsu, especially with the artwork being an adaptation. It's different, so I really am enjoying it. It feels more like a modern take. From there, we got the big thick boy himself, Kamen Rider, the original Kamen Rider by Shitaro Ishinomori. I love this volume. I love the spine. I love the color. I love the cover, color and cover. I just love it all around. It's a beautiful volume, and it's great. I love the first part of this. At least the first chunk of it is really good. Of course, Super Sentai. Oh crap! Himitsu Sentai Go Ranger, which is the first iteration of, I believe, Super Sentai with Ishinomori. This isn't as good. I don't know. It was worth to keep because I love Power Rangers and I love the history of that. But personally, Kamen Rider, so much better. Alright, so let's go up here. This is actually this was originally a bookshelf mixed with a new shonen shelf, but as you can tell, it's not quite that anymore. It's kind of a mix between books, Harry Potter, and then Tasuki Fujimoto manga. So let me move Chainsaw Man out of the way here. First off, I have the one-shot Goodbye Eri by Tasuki Fujimoto. I read this recently. It's really good. I'll have this in my next manga haul, which should be out in like the next month or so. From there I have, of course, complete at the moment until part 2 comes later this year, Chainsaw Man 1 through 11. I love Chainsaw Man. It's one of the best. Really getting into a bit of a Tatsuki Fujimoto binge, so I might go back and get Fire Punch. I might go back and get the 2 short story collections, and then actually let me just go ahead and show you this right now too. I just got Look Back, so yeah, really getting into Tatsuki Fujimoto lately. And then of course from there, Mashle, Magic and Muscles, I have 1 through 12. I think this and one other Shonen Jump manga are 2 that I get now, but I think I get them just because I'm so used to getting them, but they're not enjoyable as much as they used to be. And mostly I have this because of Harry Potter, which is kind of why I like it. It's gotten pretty stale, I will say that. It's still enjoyable, it's still what it is, but it's pretty stale. And that's it for this shelf. I know I'm going to add Look Back here later on, but yeah, there's books, but we're not going to talk about them because we're here for the mangoes. All right, we got those first 2 shelves done, but you're gonna find out as we go down more, it's gonna take longer to get through them because we got a lot of shorter manga. So let's go to this shelf. This is sort of my, now I was going to say Bleach meets Attack on Titan shelf, but obviously with Zombie Powder here, it's Tite Kubo and Attack on Titan. So starting off, I have Bleach 1 through 21. This is complete for me. Now what I mean by that is, well, there is a lot more manga you could get for this. This is where I stopped, and where I will genuinely not go past. To this day, I am still very adamant about that. Of course, volume 1 here being probably one of the first manga in my collection. From there, Zombie Powder 1 through 4. This is complete. This is Tite Kubo's sort of like failed space cowboy like manga. Outlaw Star, Trigun, and oh shoot, I should know this. Cowboy Bebop. Yeah, it kind of has that feel. Not quite as good as any of them, but still, I wish it would have succeeded. I think there was a lot of potential here. From here, I have Attack on Titan volumes 1 through 35 or 34. I mean, my bad. That's complete. One of the weirdest manga in my collection because it took me. I bought volume 1 in 2013 when it came out, and I didn't buy another volume of it until like 2018 or 2019. So it was a really long hiatus for me to get more of it, and actually a really long hiatus for me to even want to go jump back in because, in my opinion, Attack on Titan isn't that great, especially for the first arc. And I don't like Eren Yeager. I never have, I never will. And the ending just makes me feel justified in that. Season 2 and onward, it's amazing. I love the politics, I love the story. That's about that for this shelf. This shelf's really probably the smallest shelf of them all. And of course, if I didn't mention it, all of this manga is complete. Well, yeah, complete. So from there I have Siren and World Trigger shelf, so a quick one as well. Starting here in the corner, I have World Trigger volumes 1 through, I think it's 24 we're at now, right? 24, yeah. So I think there's 25 out now, but I just haven't gotten it yet. World Trigger is one of the longest lasting manga in my collection, still ongoing. Alongside that, one of the best like weeby kind of things I have in my collection. That I feel like nobody else has. This is a big plush of replica from World Trigger. If anybody else has this, let me know, because 1 through 10 of this manga is absolutely just awesome. It's fun. But yeah, manga's been kind of trickling back and forth for a long time now. I don't know why I have it. I guess I just have such an attachment to it because it's one of the first manga that I actually went out and put effort into getting the whole thing really fast. And I guess at this point I just have a lot of love for it. I love the look of them. I love the look of the spines. The concepts back in the day. I love the combat aspects. Like I said with Mashal, both manga, I'm just kind of getting now at this point just because of the habit. Onward, Siren 1 through 16. This is complete. And beyond, I love Kaiju, but beyond everything else, this is the best Shonen Jump manga. Siren is amazing. It deserves more love. We need a re-release from Viz at some point where it's like maybe omnibuses or even I take a hardcover, but obviously it's not going to happen. Or even an anime. That'd be awesome too. But Siren is amazing. I love it, and I can't praise it enough. So this is what I call my legacy shelf. This is the best of the best, or in my opinion, obviously there's classics, but there's also some of just the greatest manga in my collection here. Of course, I would put some horror manga on this shelf, but like Junji Ito stuff. But obviously, that's the horror shelves stuff. So, starting in here in this corner, I have my Now Kurosawa stack. So, Now Kurosawa, one of the best mangaka of all time. Starting up top there, I have Mujirushi Sign of Dreams, or a Sign of Dreams. It's a good one-off by Now Kurosawa. Of course, it doesn't feel like a one-off because it's Now Kurosawa. The reason I have this, while it's just kind of good, definitely need to commit more time to reading all of Monster versus this, so it's kind of a good refresher for a Now Kurosawa, kind of wanting to get the vibe back but not having to read the whole thing of Monster to get it. I love the mystery in it. I love the art themes. Got a lot of themes of the Louvre in it, so really good little manga volume. From there I have Monster in the Perfect Edition 1 through 9. That is complete. Definitely my top 10 manga of all time. Really good. There are parts that maybe aren't as good, but it's obviously, I think any manga you can say that about it if it's long enough. Alongside of Now Kurosawa, my personal manga journey golden goose, which I still don't have, and I do need to get one day, is Pluto. I do need to try Pluto. I just haven't committed any time to going back and getting it, because from there I have the 3 omnibuses of King of Eden. This is a really good zombie manga. I don't know why it's not in the horror stuff, but I guess it's because it has a Naoki Urasawa feel. This is actually by the one of the co-writers for some of the Naoki Urasawa manga, along with a manhwa artist, and it feels like a Naoki Urasawa manga. It's just a lot faster paced, and it's horror, and the artwork is nothing like Naoki Urasawa. You know, it's kind of a zombie manga, but not really. There's a lot of themes in this. It's a thinker, I'll say that much. There's a lot of like conspiracy and philosophical themes and historic themes, and it definitely tries to fit into a lot of different things in this manga. The religion. These zombies aren't your normal zombies. These aren't zombies. These are wolf zombies. These are some crazy ass zombies. From there, I have the one shot of All You Need Is Kill. This is by the artist of Platinum End, Death Note, and I forgot that shogi manga. Really good. Of course, there's that one live action with Tom Cruise where it's got a million different names. I don't remember what it's called anymore. This is a really good one shot and one off. But I love how this is sort of a romantic tragedy. I love that. It kind of feels like that, at least by the end. It kind of starts off as more of an action drama thriller, but by the end, I think the best part of it is when it becomes a romantic tragedy type. From there, I have a lesser known manga by the small publisher Gen Manga. This is Wolf. The artwork isn't great. It's not. But for me, it's got a lot of ways for me to sort of words not coming to me right now, but basically we can relate with this story. It's a boxing manga about, a father who abandoned his kid. The kid comes back and wants to beat him in a wrestling or in a boxing match. I recommend it if you don't mind the bad artwork, if you want to call it bad. I think it's pretty good. From there, Captain Harlock, the classic in the classic collection edition. This is not all of Captain Harlock as far as I know. It has that very I don't know what decade it would be exactly, but maybe early, 60s cartoony feel. But Captain Harlock, man, it is not that. The themes in this manga that deal with humanity and meaning and the universe, I love it, man. From there, we have another classic collection, Lupin the Third, Greatest Heist. This is sort of a collection of the greatest chapters in Lupin the Third. Lupin the Third being one of the best anime of all time to just binge. I love Lupin the Third. I know that people can have about it because it can be a little bit aged, but the humor is still just amazing, and of course Thick as Thieves is here too, so alright, so from there we have what is probably my favorite shelf in the entire collection, my horror manga shelf. Look at its beauty and some random guy on a horse and some cats. Very fun. So of course we have my randos right here, but from there there's Junji Ito, there's Kazu Umezu, and because let's start here. So first off, on top I have some H.P. Lovecraft manga adaptations. On top I have H.P. Lovecraft, The Hound and Other Stories, collection of shorts. I love it. I love the submarine one. I have of course the 2 volumes At the Mountains of Madness. Pretty slow read. I would definitely recommend The Hound and Other Stories a lot more. There we have Crueler Than Dead, a very hyper-realistic zombie manga. Very much asked the question of what would humanity do if it went to its worst at a situation like this. A very short manga. It doesn't give you very much time to breathe or to even like a character, but it's good. It's fun. It's by a small publisher. I can't read upside down. Ablaze. Kingdom of the Gods is next. It's I believe a manhwa. If you know Kingdom, the live-action zombie feudal Japan live-action show on Netflix, I think it's the original, and that was adapted from this. And yeah, it's good. The show is a lot better, if I do say so. From there, I have all 11 volumes of Shibuya Goldfish. Pretty fun manga. It's pretty much a zombie manga if the zombies were fish, pet fish, and it's disturbing at some points, and it's great. I love it, besides the last 2 or 3 volumes where it drags out and it becomes kind of boring. It should have ended at volume 9, I think. From there, I have the 2 omnibuses of Doubt, so 1 and 2. I got this and I read this year. Doubt, wow, a long time coming. One of those golden gooses manga that I never read before that I needed to. Rabbit Doubt, Game of Rabbit Doubt, there's one wolf among the sheep kind of thing. It's kind of like Among Us. I want to get Judge eventually because it's the continuation. I have no idea what Judge is about, but I got to imagine it's got to be pretty, at least decent. From there, of course, I have one of the greatest, proudest, most proudest things that I have in my collection, the Junji Ito story collection so far. So, starting from the beginning to the end, or the oldest to the newest, we have Shiver, my favorite, Frankenstein, one of the best horror manga adaptations. Love it. Smashed, Love Sickness, Deserter, pretty good. That's a favorite too. And Tombs. And of course, over there, I got Soichi just hanging out on the shelf there, waiting to be read. From there, I have some of the short stories in a shorter format. We have Fragments of Horror and Venus in the Blind Spot, along with what is this one called again? I always forget. Liminal Zone. I always forget that one. I really wish they would have just put them in these, because it would have just made more sense. I just don't like how this confuses me. You know, you have collection stories, and then you have one-off stories in these three right here, and then you have this weird little place in the middle where one of my favorite Junji Ito manga, Remina, my very first read in Junji Ito. I love the cosmic horror in this. Then we have what is the Censor, pretty good one, and Black Paradox, both just pretty legit ones. Not my favorite personally. I think it kind of goes best to worst in here. But yeah, Junji Ito, god of horror manga. From there, of course, the second best manga in my entire collection, Drifting Classroom by Kazuo Umezu. It's like Lord of the Flies on steroids. This is a fucking amazing manga. I recommend it. You know, when I first read it, I didn't really get it. And when you finish it, and when you finally get the whole gist of the story, it's so freaking, it's wonderful. This is just glorious. I love this. Alright, so we're getting closer and closer to the edge. We have my droopers. Yeah, my droopers. Let's go here. This is my miscellaneous shelf. So let me just start by saying everything on this shelf is complete, besides this last one. And starting here, I have Livingstone 1 through 4, complete again. This is by the creators of Dead Man Wonderland, Smokin' Parade, and Araka 7. This is my favorite of the four. It's kind of like a crime, like a supernatural crime series with themes of brotherhood. It's a wonderful manga. I would love if Kodansha ever made this into a big boy omnibus, or two smaller boy omnibuses, or even just a big ass hardcover. I don't know. Just do something with this Kodansha. There we have Nyankees 1 through 6. It's sort of a cat gangster manga. So a cat is also a human gangster, and it's like you see what the cat does and then the human gangster does, and it's kind of like if cats were humans, but it's kind of like they live, how do I say this, the cat is the human, but you see them side by side, and it's kind of like an ongoing story where you see what the cat's doing and then what the human's doing. It's hard to explain. It's a good comedy manga. From there I have Sand Chronicles 1 through 8. This is complete for me. There is a 9th volume, but that is all just short stories, and I don't care about short stories. This is like my only romance manga in my entire collection. Out of all my manga, this is the only one that's a romance. I remember reading this at the library years ago, loving it, needing more of it, and then I just bought it all from somebody. From there we have my Marvel slash adaptations of famous or popular things area. So first I have Spider-Man Fake Red. This is that one single one-off. It's kind of like Spider-Man, like what would happen if a weeby guy, stereotypical shonen protagonist type character, got Spider-Man's outfit for like a month or whatever. From there, Deadpool Samurai 1 and 2. This is a lot better in my opinion, as I love the comedy. Just Deadpool going to town on shonen stereotypes and tropes and things, and it's just funny. From there we have Star Wars Rebels. This is an adaptation to the actual show. Again, I never watched Rebels. I didn't even watch the Clone Wars because I'm not a big fan of CG animation, to be honest. But yeah, this is kind of my way to get into the story, even though it's really quick. I wish it was longer. From there we have one of the best 3-volume manga. This came out recently in an omnibus, a big all-in-one, which I was going to double dip on, but I decided against. And yeah, it's Prophecy. From there I have Ajin Demi-Human 1 through 17 complete, with of course this additional alternate volume 1, which I love. I just love it. But Ajin Demi-Human, alright. Best manga in my entire collection. 100%. I don't really know how to explain why I love it so much. I just think it's a well-rounded series. it deals with a lot of human perspectives on how maybe people who are different should be treated. But you have this sort of the part that I love is the cat and mouse between the villain and the main character. Well, I guess you wouldn't call him a villain. He's more of an anti-hero. If we ever get a re-release of this, I will, without a doubt, without a heartbeat's thought, will get it. And I will have both, and I don't care. Ajin's amazing. From there, I have the one-shot of The God's Lie, a great melancholic manga about kids being abandoned and dealing with some harsh truths of life. From there, the never ending, apparently, because Aki Irie hasn't done any new manga for a while. I think we're getting volume 6. Are we on 6? Yes. It's Go With the Clouds, North by Northwest. It's very much a tourist guide in manga format to Iceland, with many other themes like mystery and slice of life, some romance, supernatural. This literally put Iceland on my bucket list of places to visit. I love it. And then finally, there was the Viz Sig shelf. Yeah, not too much on here, but there is some great stuff in here. We have 4 manga to go through. We're going to start right here with the first one. First off, we have Inuyashiki. This is by, oh man, I always forget his name. I'm just going to look up here because I'm lazy. Oku. So yeah, Hiroi Oku. So the creator of Gaunt, the creator of... Honestly, I forget. Gigant. Inuyashiki. One of the best manga in my collection, hands down. This manga blew me away. Like, I tried it for the first time, I think it was like, oh man, a couple years ago. I think it was 2020 or 2021, and I needed it. It's so good. Inuyashiki, go read it, please. From there, if you can, because it's out of print, I believe. But yeah, and I love these. Kodansha, re-release these. From there, we have, again, 1 through 12. Manga is called again. Mitsuru Kubo, one of the greatest manga artists in my opinion. But it's about the Owenden, and it's a cheerleading type manga, but if cheerleading was more strict and more, like, I guess, militarized. And it deals with a guy who goes back in time after not having such the greatest high school experience in life, and he's kind of a loner and everything, and he gets to experience life all over again and try to fix his mistakes. Ending's a little weird. It kind of goes into the time travel stuff. Same time, I have to respect it. It does a good job. There's shaky parts, but like I say, in any long series, you're going to have shaky parts no matter what you do. So just learn to live with it and enjoy it. It's a good manga. From there, we have, again, Aki Irie, who wonderfully gave us that, which is still ongoing. We have completed, oh no, of course, all this is completed besides this one. We have Ran in the Grey World, 1 through 7. This is complete. It's about a girl whose family is magical and mystical, and they have duties to some sort of supernatural something, and to keep the world safe from spirits or something. But it dives into a lot of different things. I think that this one's a little better. That's just because I love Iceland, but this is still really good. Next up, I have ongoing. We have Alice in Borderland and the Omnibuses 1 through 6. This is ongoing. It should be completed in the next 3 or 4 volumes. Live action was great. Manga is great. But yeah, there we go. That's everything. Oh, you know what? Actually, I'll bring you over my TBR a second. So of course, Soichi, Lupin the Third, Thick as Thieves, and Look Back. There you go. Of course, leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought. You can give me a count if you like how much manga I have. But besides that, I'll see you in the hall in a few weeks.